This is Natalie from Line.Arrow from the Netherlands, and today I have a little craft with me video, but with a voiceover, so you will see certain amount of footage a little bit faster, so speed up, and if I think it needs to be slowed down, I will show you in a slower version, but still a little bit quicker than usual. And if you have issues watching a high-speed video, there is a cartwheel on YouTube that you can click. And if you click on that cartwheel, you can slow down the video. Of course, the voiceover will slow down too, but you could maybe put out the volume and then you can see. So that's just a thought. And there's also a transcript underneath each video, so you can follow the transcript, or you put out the volume but use translation. That's an option too. But today I'm going to work on, I want to make pockets over here. This is just vellum. And I want to have one over here and one over here. And the reason why I'm using vellum, because I don't want to cover it up this too much. I don't mind putting something over here and maybe on the borders, but I do want to have this sort of visible, although I'm not sure if it stays visible because this is not very sturdy, of course. So we will see. But yeah, I'm going to create that, and if I have time left, I will also make a piece in here. So I found a oval shaped doily that I'm going to cut in half. I was cutting off the leftover pieces that to make it straight, I don't know how to say, but I didn't need to do that because I sewn over it, but yeah, I was doing it anyway. So one piece is going on the front pocket, one other piece is going on the back, and I'm also going to add lace to put on the top of the pocket, just trying to find the right position. This is the lace I'm going to add. I'm going to sew this on together with the doily on the pocket. This is where it's sewn on, and I found a stamped label. I thought I would put something else on, but I sticked with the label and I sewed on both pockets, both labels. Okay, so I need to attach the pocket. I'm not going to use glue because it's going to make the, what is called, vellum-like crinkle, so I choose to use the double-sided tape. I'm not very good at getting the tape ready to really stick, as you can see. Several tries I needed, but I managed to put both the pockets on with double-sided tape, and it's the best way for me to put on a vellum pocket if I don't want it to be crinkly and all sort of wet from the glue. So I attached the back pocket the same way as I did the front pocket, and here you can see me sort out some things that I want to put on the image that is a clipboard. And I want to have the collage sewn onto the clipboard before I put on backing, so you don't see that part of the stitching on the back side. I changed to smaller images as it was a little bit too wide. I wanted something smaller. And I even add lace, some cheesecloth, different textures to make it more interesting. And I'm going to sew it on top with a zigzag stitch. I also age the little pieces of papers a little with some ink. And I need to make a backing, so I have a little bit of a sturdier paper, and you see me fold it in half, well, almost in half, because I'm going to use 2 layers of this paper. I'm just using a regular glue stick because I'm going to sew around the borders. Usually you have to let it dry, otherwise your needle got very sticky, but I don't do that. So usually I mess up my needle, but I'm going to cut it to size. Do a little bit by hand, of course. Make it as straight as possible, and also going to round the corners with a corner punch and, well, make it fit the exact image. Now I'm going to ink, but I'm going to ink a second time because I changed my mind about this, let's say, tag. I wanted to put it in the front pocket, but I'm going to use it as a front piece on the front of the cover of the journal because I needed something in the fabric pocket too. And I really liked how this turned out. So I'm going to make it more narrow so it fits that pocket. It was a bit challenging, but it worked. Again, rounding the corners. And of course, again, I need to ink. And I messed up with the ink at the back side, so I decided to use a stencil and mimic the doily sizes, the circles on the front cover and the back cover, because I used doilies on that. Punch an eyelet in the clip. I didn't put the eyelet in yet because first I needed to sew. And you see me putting the eyelet, but then I figured I had a piece of the kit that is like sort of a hole reinforcer. And I thought it would be nice to use that one on the front. And I almost put in the eyelet again just to remind myself, oh, I need to do that at the back side too, because that adds a little bit more interest. So I have two of those on the front and the back side. Set the eyelet. And now it's finished and I'm very happy. Like I wanted it in this one, but I'm going to put it in the front pocket of the journal. And now I need to make a journal topper. So I have a piece of ripped off fabric and I'm going to add cheesecloth. So I stitched over the piece of fabric together with the cheesecloth, and I even did a back and forth stitching at some point, so to add more interest. And now I'm trying to figure out how to put it on the tag. And I know I'm not going to leave it like this because I ended up doing it different. But yeah, you see the real struggle, poking it through the hole to create a loop and then put the two legs inside the loop. But I didn't like it. It was too bulky. The knot was too bulky. So I took it out. And then I just used a single strand to go through and then sort of tied it like you tie a tie with a flat. I don't know how to explain, but the knot is more flat this way. And I like it this way. So I found some leftover pieces and I have already a pre-made book page envelope stitched and decorated. Adding this piece to make it more cohesive with the journal and the theme. Adding the little bits and bobs. Usually as a journal maker you are not really allowed to do this. Like a few images, okay, but I sometimes see people cut out all the ephemera pieces and just put it in a journal. That's really not allowed, but as I am the designer of the papers, I can do that. I'm going to put it in the front and some pieces in the back side that are left over. And now I need to make a closure. I found this piece that I found in a thrift store like maybe 4 or 5 years ago. I don't know anymore. And it is rather sturdy, so it's not very easy to knot, but I thought it would look really nice with a journal. And I'm just trying out some different ways to tie it around the journal. I go back and forth. You can also try to put a closure on like this. I thought that would be nice. But I ended up not liking it at all. Just trying different ways to tie it down. And this one is very cute because at the end it didn't work. Look, nothing happened. But yeah, not very interesting to see, of course, but I wanted to show you that you can also tie a journal that way. But I'm going to just tie it the regular way. And I just put some glue onto the images of the tag that is on the front piece, because the cheesecloth was curling up behind, so you didn't see. And I also thought it would be nice to add some little clips, just to add some interest and to give a little bit of weight to the collage so it stays flat. Well, at least I hoped it would be. I add 2. And I'm not clipping it onto the clipboard because I want to slide it in the pocket, but have the collage pieces over the pocket, as you can see. And I'm tying it closed with the vintage ribbon. I think it's for furniture or something. And then just tie it with a little bow on the side. So this is the final part of creating the cover. I have several videos of several stages building the journal. As you can see on the background, I have some images included from every stage of building the cover. This journal will be for sale. If you are interested, you can send me a PM. Of course, I will do a flip through video. I'm not sure if I will do that today, but very, very soon, so you can see the complete final journal. I want to thank you for watching. I hope you liked the video. Leave a comment, maybe hype the video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Greetings from the Netherlands. Bye bye. Bye.